Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl Boost Boswell with the bottom line. I thought I'd come in and see what y'all up to. Happy Saturday. Wanted to take a minute and see if anybody pop in, and if so, we can chat a minute. I ain't over here doing nothing. Want to know how your holidays coming along. Excuse me. I ain't been on in a couple of days. I actually had a migraine earlier this week. I'm telling you, self care is important, and I want to make sure that you're doing the things you need to do to make sure that you stay healthy and addressing any adversities that come your way. That's one of the main things that catch us off guard is our body and our minds will tell us um, to pay attention that something's going wrong, and we just blow right through it and ignore it until we wait too long, and then something happens and we get sick or have to address it. And I don't want that to happen to you. Make sure that you taking time to have moments to take care of yourself and ensure your health as well. Uh, so when I don't come on, that's what I'm doing a lot of times. I'm taking time out to take care of myself and to make sure that I don't do what I did back in 2019, and that's not make myself a priority. Excuse me, allowing life and my job to overconsume me to the point to where I'm missing appointments and checkups and things of that nature. And I started to develop symptoms that eventually caught up with me. So you don't want to do that. Anytime your body is speaking to you, I want you to make sure that you take time out and take care of you because you're important. And if you don't take care of you, a lot of times ain't nobody coming after you. Um, the reality is, can't nobody take care of you better than you. If you got somebody looking after you, then that's a blessing and appreciate that and treasure that. But at the end of the day, you definitely have some responsibilities to ensure that you're taking care of yourself. With that being said, I wanted to come on here and I wanted to jump on and talk for a few minutes about preparing yourself for the holidays. I know there's a lot of middle age or older people, and maybe some younger ones too, that have no family relationships or a community that they can celebrate with. And depression, anxiety, and loneliness, particularly, can really eat away at those heartstrings and your mental health. And I want you to ensure that if you find yourself in this situation, that you do something about it. But the thing and the right thing to do, excuse me, is to plan so you won't be in a circumstance like that. If you don't have a community or a family that you can, excuse me, celebrate with these coming holidays, and I would suggest maybe go volunteer somewhere, be a part of some type of activity in your community. Just don't sit alone. It's just not healthy to always be alone. I spend a lot of time by myself, but I know that there are times in the mental psyche and our physical being too needs to get up and breathe fresh air and walk and just get out amongst the elements of the world. And you can't do that slumped and shut in the home. So I want you to be proactive in ensuring that you are taking the proper steps to maintain a healthy mindset and interacting with people. And I think that just might increase your longevity in life. At least that's the goal anyway. Praise God to that, right? I know I had been engaging some people here recently, and one of the things that I am focusing in on as I'm recognizing the loneliness that people are experiencing is a lot of blame or responsibility that they have put on their ex or their past relationship. And this is what I want to tell you and take away before I leave off this broadcast this evening. I want you to make sure that you understand that your mental health and your quality of life is in your hands. Well, how we doing, Mara? Glad you can make it. Happy Saturday to you. How your weekend going? Glad you could pop in. I actually wasn't gonna come live, and then I decided I'd come on for a minute, um, and just encourage somebody to make sure that if you out there living on your own or away from family or don't have family, that you don't get caught being alone during this holiday season. A lot of people, and particularly in the African American community, struggle with loneliness during the holiday season and result to drastic measures. And I don't want that to happen. Like for myself, being that I'm many hours away from my family, many holidays when I'm not able to get back home, I spend by myself. But I also have some friends that I can interact with or look for activities, volunteering perhaps, to give back, so you don't just spend time by yourself, because loneliness is a real thing. And I don't want you all to get caught up into that, because your mental health matters. Hey, Joy, welcome in, lady. Glad to see you. Say, Mara said, I spent Thanksgiving alone. I may spend time with family for Christmas. We'll see. Okay. Well, make sure if you can get home, young lady, or if you're not, make sure that you take some time to be among some quality people that you can enjoy. I know many people are by themselves, and loneliness ain't nothing to play with. It can rob you of your mental health and your happiness, and we don't want that. So it's necessary to be proactive. But as I was engaging some young ladies on another platform the other day, one of the things that I was talking about, Mara, when you first popped in, was I'm starting to see a lot of young people, particularly, are blaming others for their well-being, or are relying on other people for their happiness. And I want to encourage people to understand and to go down that journey of what self-love is. See, self-love will eliminate all that nonsense, but people don't take the time to get to know themselves and to spend time with themselves. I was like that once upon a time in my life. I was always busy or always had to be in the presence of other people. That's because I was relying on other people to make me happy and to fulfill me, which no one will ever be able to do. And a lot of people don't understand that. And I see a lot of you young people wasting away a lot of years and a lot of time in your life that you'll never get back. And I'm trying to encourage you to understand that when you learn how to take time out for yourself and get to know what it is you need to be healthy and happy, and to really grow into understanding and living what self-love is, then life will be beautiful, because you no longer rely on other people to fulfill needs that only you can provide. See, most people right now are relying on other people, and they robbing them of their life and time. Faith, how we doing, my friend? I hope this weekend been enjoyable. How you been doing this weekend? I thought I'd come on and talk about preparing yourself and being proactive with not being alone during the holiday time. I think it's important. Um, a lot of young people, particularly African American women, are lonely, and they are being vocal about it. And I understand that, because I'm not a young African American woman, but I'm a Black woman, and I've been there. And I want to really reach out to these younger women so they understand that they need community. See, we get in these relationships with these men, and we take on their identity in their lives, and most women lose themselves in these relationships. And when the relationship goes away, they don't know what to do with themselves because they've lost their way. And we need to understand that it's okay to be in a relationship. I encourage it. I hope you have it, and I hope it lasts a lifetime. But culturally, we have to promote and ensure that we are still being a part of community with one another, maintaining relationships with our friends and our families where we are able and it's necessary, and not be so quick to just adopt somebody else's lifestyle and shut down everything that existed in our lives before them. It happened to me. I'm speaking from experience. And the truth of the matter is, see, I'm comfortable enough in my skin to where I can tell the truth. I know it's a lot of people out here lying. I can look you in your eyes and know you telling a lie because I once was you. See, we more alike than we are different. And people want to pretend and act as though we are not like those that are in our presence or our parents, but that ain't true. We need to be honest. You see what's going on out here in our community, how more and more of our African American sisters are losing their identity. There is no boundaries and self worth. We have to get in front of this thing. We have to be accountable not only for ourselves, but for our sister friends. Because what I'm seeing, all this disrespect amongst ourselves and then others, that's a lack of loving ourselves. That's a lack of supporting those in our community. And I know what's going on in other communities, but all I see is our community. And quite frankly, that's what I'm concerned with. Faith said, I've been doing okay. I've been doing okay, Faith. I actually had a migraine earlier this week. That's why I didn't come on Tuesday. I had to take some self-care time out. And I encourage any and everybody to make sure you do that. I spent a couple years of my life not taking time out for me and missing doctor's appointments. Allowing my work to be more important than my health. And then fast forward, things happen to me to where started to develop symptoms, and just my physical and mental care just went down. You don't want to do that to yourself, because one thing is for certain and two for sure. If something happened to you, these jobs going to keep moving. So you make sure you keep moving to ensure that you active with all your appointments and your self-care, because you matter. And ain't nobody gonna take care of you better than you. You better believe that. Yes, ma'am, Marv. Community is important. Um, I used to, when I was younger, I always had girlfriends, right? I always had real close friends since my childhood. But every time I got in a relationship, all that was on the back burner until he hurt my feelings or made me sick. Not that I just totally got out of activities with my friends, but they started to become to a minimum. And it ain't just me. That's what we do. Um, a lot of times. It takes a healthy mind and a established person that has established their life individually to create a healthy transition into a relationship. Most people is all feet and face in, and everything else is to the wind. And then when he show you who he really is, and he ain't as uh, fuzzy and happy about your presence and don't want to be bothered as often, then you running around looking stupid and hurt. Don't do that to yourself. We all have been there. I'm telling you what I know because I care. And it's a lot of you young ladies out there that's wasting some precious time, and even older ladies too. I'm thankful to God that I finally learned, not as soon as I would have liked to, but at least I learned. It's some people that's a lot older than me and they still don't know nothing. And you don't want to be like that. Let me see. I'm gonna always share my experiences, my obligation. Um, I was talking to a gentleman that actually moved me the other day. He's gonna come on the podcast. We're supposed to be doing it Tuesday. I have to see how my day goes from getting home from work, but we're going to do a podcast about relationships and navigating them properly. And he reached out to me because, see, we all need somebody to pour into us, right? And he poured into me, and I needed that the other day, because you can get out here on these platforms, excuse me, and get discouraged or, start to lose interest. And we were conversing back and forth on another platform, and he was asking about my intention, and he kind of regurgitated to me what his takeaways was from my videos and my message to this community. And I told him, sometimes I second guess myself about doing it, and it's a lot of negativity out here, and just kind of poured out a little bit of my authentic feelings. And he said, um, the pain comes with daring to be great, and also it would be a shame for those that really need you, because they will find you. They will not be able to have access to you if you quit doing what you do. You are doing something that somebody is going to truly need. And then this young lady, she blessed me. She came across my Sprinkle Sprinkle video that I put out over 9 months ago, which is my top performing video. Um, and she said she had came on YouTube to find that Sprinkle Sprinkle chick, and but my video came up and she watched it, and she said, "I'm glad I came across you, because I don't want to use people and it just don't feel right, and what you say is who I am. So I'm going to stay true to what I believe." And so I responded to her comment, and I told her that I'm glad she had found that video, and that she don't want to have a negative mindset and a greed in her intentions, because what she put out in the world is definitely what she will receive. And fast forward a couple of days later, she came back to that post and said, "I commented a couple of days ago, and I just really need to speak to you. I don't have anybody in my life, and I need to talk to you." So I ended up connecting with her on another platform, and we kind of corresponded. She sent me a message and told me her situation and her struggles and her challenges, because she lost her mother at a very young age, and her father had left before her mother passed away. Long story short, I took time to kind of walk her through what I thought in life and encourage her, to go down the right path. And it blessed me. It took me back to what that young man said, and it was like a day apart and then the same day. And it reminded me that I do have a purpose, and that I wasn't just out here by chance. um God came in my life and started to speak, and that was my reminder that I needed. So we have to stay diligent and purposeful for what our calling is, because somebody gonna need you. I don't care who you are. We all need somebody. And even on those days of doubt or low energy, I'm telling you what I know, keep pushing. Faith says sometimes when you are in a relationship, it seems that time stops, but the rest of the world is moving. Mess around and you could waste years of your life and don't realize until it's wasted. Listen, hey man, listen. Um, yes, I do, but I think mine is stress induced phase, but I've been trying to drink more water, but mine has turned into serious migraines. But thank you for that, and I'm gonna definitely keep on track with my water intake. Water can actually solve a lot of things. But back to what Faith said, that is just so very true. Um, I wasted a lot of years of my life, like a lot of other people that I know and knew, and I see out here socially that I don't know personally. But when you gain wisdom, you know what you know, and you see what you see. And there are a lot of people out here that's wasting so much time, and it's just unnecessary. But one thing I know to be true, and when I was on another platform the other day, I came on as a guest to kind of try to speak to the hearts of some of these younger people. After I said my piece on self love and quit looking at other people and focus on you, one young lady said, "Yeah, but I didn't have the same upbringing as a lot of you. She didn't have parental guidance." And the truth, and like I told her, the truth of the matter is, A lot of our stories are similar. So many people think their story is unique and it's not. The truth is, we all can identify a lot more than what people think. And there comes a point in your life where you have to quit blaming and using excuses for what has happened in your life and take responsibility. I made a video on TikTok for young ladies to forgive their mother. This is today. A lot of young ladies are bitter or hateful towards their mothers because their mother was not the type of woman that they needed or that they envisioned a mother should be. And they have a lot of anger and resentment towards her. But the fact and the truth of the matter is this: most of these mothers could not be that woman because nobody was that woman for her. And she has no idea of how to be her. Well, good evening, y'all. Come on in. Glad to see you, my friend. You have to learn how to forgive her. And when I was on that platform, I mean, it was either a bad relationship these young ladies are healing from, or the lack of parental love and guidance. What I can tell you is this: when you start to be honest with yourself about your life, about your flaws, about your mishaps and your chips and your character, and really focus on being a good person for yourself, by yourself, and about nobody else, you will start to heal. And when you start to heal, you will start to see and begin to forgive other people. See, when you have a lot of anger in you towards other people, you also have a lot of anger in you about yourself. There's a lot of forgiving that you must do for you. We hold so much anger because what other people did or didn't do. But we don't realize that anger is about us. We are mad because we allowed things to happen, or we didn't address things a certain way, or didn't walk away early. All that anger that we pushing on other people is really a lot of times anger that you must heal and forgive yourself. I was angry for a lot of years of my life. Angry just because I was addicted to it, because I had been it for so long. So many people are addicted to these bad mentalities. I met this lady today when I got out and about. Nice black lady. We kind of just talked about our kids and life and just where we was. We was around the same age, middle age, single women, empty nesters, and we talked about some of our challenges with our kids' mentality, and we could identify. And we was just laughing about in the beginning how we thought we was alone, but the reality is more of us know these stories because we live in these stories. You have to be honest with yourself. I'm telling you what I know to be true. And once you quit lying to yourself and begin the process of getting well, you will start to really enjoy life and be a blessing to other people, because what you have to give is a gift. It's a wisdom that most people don't have. And once you gain that wisdom and that self awareness, people can impact you in a way that they used to, how they could alter your mood and predictions of what happens in your life because you've handed over yourself to somebody else. See, you got to quit handing over yourself to these unhealthy people. Most people are not mentally stable or healthy enough to manage your mental and your physical capacity. And anyway, it's your responsibility. Quit handing your life over to somebody else and learn how to manage it well and healthy for yourself. I'm telling you what I know to be true. Oh, y'all, speaking to everybody that's in the room, if you haven't, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. I'm trying to grow this thing. I'm gonna keep on at it until we get to where we going, y'all. Throw that up. When two or more agree and join together, we handing that one over to God. Y'all said, I think as an adult, we have to get over things our parents did. But as a parent, it's our job to do better than our parents and learn as we go. Amen. Absolutely. Some parents do their best, but it ain't always enough. It ain't. And there's a lot of things in my life that wasn't enough. There's a lot of things in most people that I know in their life when it came to their parents, it wasn't enough. But the truth of the matter is, we, even though our generations and our race has come a long way, we still have a long way to go. Our parents parenting from their parents wasn't enough. It's a domino effect. We are dealing with so many traumas that we have shielded and it has formed into something else, but the root cause remains the same. See, there's so much healing that needs to go on in the African American community that we have transitioned it to this over sexuality because a lot of chicks wasn't raised with their daddy or raised with out having a lot of material things that they willing to do anything, drop it like it's hot, just so they can lace them pockets. It goes back to lack of love, lack of accountability, lack of dignity, respect, and discipline. We can we can sugarcoat and color it all different kind of ways, but the root cause remains the same. Lack of self-love is a dangerous thing, and it is very consistent. I was on Instagram a couple days ago scrolling. Young I say the girl probably was in her early to mid 20s. She had on a form-fitting dress. She might as well been walking around naked because she had no panties on, and her dress was one of those dresses when you walk, it crawled up. So half her butt was out. We are trying Society is trying to normalize these over sexualized behaviors. And for me, it's a form of abuse and it's a form of low self-esteem and low self-worth. Some things should be left behind closed doors. I don't care who you are. And it ain't nothing about being old school and old, none of that. It's about self respect, it's about boundaries. And a lot of people just don't have it. Hypersexuality is definitely a problem in our community. Yes, it is, and it's troubling. Women are too horny to stay alone and just raise their kids. Amen. I just threw a video up on TikTok um today, a couple hours ago, encouraging women to become allies instead of being that hater chick that has no boundaries or no respect that that man is in relationship, thinking that she is special or she has one up on the other chick because she messing with somebody's man with the intentions of taking him. You can't take care of somebody that ain't worth taking. A man that's out there playing on his woman, he ain't no bad, he's no one worth being in a relationship with. But these women get them because they think that they something special, and he gonna do the same thing to her that he did to the other woman. And women could care less until it happens to them. We have to be quit being so ignorant and so low life to where we have no respect for our community of sisterhood. Because at the end of the day, a lot of women say that, oh, I don't like chicks, and it's a lot, let's be honest, we all come with stuff, but there's a lot of good women out there that come with substance, respect, honor, dignity, and support of other women, and we need to encourage that collectively because we need each other. We need each other more now than ever before. I felt very good standing there today talking to that lady. We actually exchanged information and said we would keep in touch because it's important. I wish I would have respected the community of sisterhood a lot more passionately when I was younger as I do now. I always had love and respect for sisters, but again, I had that mentality. Once I got in a relationship, I was all in, and my friendships took a seat to the back to my detriment, because you take on somebody else's identity when you have that unhealthy behavior. And I've seen it my whole life. So most people know what I'm talking about. We have to maintain our own identity. And let's be honest, you have to learn this. We wasn't taught this, and most don't know nothing about it. That's how we get in these bad situations. And we have kids by people that we should not have had them. And it's a domino effect in an ongoing cycle of generations of unmarried or divorced women that have put their all into these relationships, trying to maintain these marriages, and they wasn't even worth nothing from the first 30 days. And 10 years on out, here we are, still fighting for them or healing from them. But if you would have paid attention in those first 30 days, when those red flags were swinging high, low, and everywhere, smacking you on your face back and forth, if you would have took time, stopped, and listened, paid attention, then maybe a lot of this heartache that I'm seeing would be different. Learn how to walk away early. Young lady on that platform that I was a guest on the other day, she was talking about she was feeling down and low because she was dating this guy for 4 months. She was broken because he ghosted her and went, and he was ended up being in a relationship. 4 months, there's nothing about that you should be broken. A little disappointed, but not broken. But the truth of the matter is that emotion and that mental state isn't anything unique. These women be broken in 2 weeks. She should still be getting to know him at 4 months, not broken. We are so quick to make life a sprint, and when truly it's a marathon. It becomes a sprint when we make these bad decisions, because heart disease is at an all-time high for the African American woman. When the death rates are increasing because we haven't taken care of our minds and our hearts. Just as much as we take care of our exterior selves, we do a piss poor job of taking care of our hearts. It's a lot of women out here hurt and broken. You need to take care of that better than you do. That caught me off guard. Women, some some men too. My ex, very secretively. Amen. Absolutely. It ain't a gender thing. This is a human thing. It's a lot of vindictive people out here. A lot of people that are self-serving. People will use you up. They will trick and lie to you to get what they want and what they need until they done with you. But let's be honest. Most of the things that has happened in my life, when I took time and really sat down, I took time out for my life to really understand me and all these things that I went through, because I made a decision that I needed something differently. I needed a different experience. And I made a decision that come hell or high water, it was going to happen. I took time out truly to reassess and evaluate my life experiences and my relationships, because I was tired of living the same old thing, my heart getting beat up and broken. That is a very hurtful thing. Who wants to keep going through that? But the reality is, a lot of people are, and a lot of people do, and I just didn't want to continue to do it. Everything I went through, there was a sign in my life. There was something in the universe or in my consciousness that was telling me to pause, to pay attention. Something ain't right here. But see, we get so sinful and so egotistically arrogant that we discard what discernment in life is telling us. There was nothing, and when I tell you nothing that happened in my life, that life did not warn me, the universe did not warn me to stop, or a big loud no. And here I go, full speed, out of control. You have to take accountability for these things. Take time to assess your life, those moments that were life changing. Go back and reflect on those if you can, if they ain't too traumatizing. And really pay attention to those signs that life was throwing you. Most of you will be able to identify those signs. They are there. But what good are they if you don't take any time to adhere to them, to take that blessing and apply it to your life? Signs are blessings. A sign saved my life. I told that story before. I'm gonna tell it to the roof fall off, blow off. When I was on a walk one day, I heard a whisper in my ear telling me this is my last chance. That was the beginning of that voice preparing me for the months and then years that was ahead of me. If that voice would not have start showing up, and it was so loud that I stopped and looked, it was no denying that I had heard something on my walk. I started to pay attention. It caught my attention so tough. I started to pay attention to feelings and signs in my life. I went through COVID, depression, anxiety. Took me several years to get through that. Fast forward to today, I have after effects. But if that voice would not have showed up and I would not have adhered to, hey, I hear that. I know I heard that loud and clear. I don't, I know I would not be here. You have to start taking accountability for what happens to you. See, that simple heart will run you raggedy. It's very lustful, egotistical, and self serving. Sometimes you got to, it's hard to do, but put that heart aside. And it's a part and a portion of your life. You're going to just have to go with that conscience in your mind. It'll save your life. We get in a lot of things that has happened to us that's adverse events because of what our sinful hearts wanted. Just because you want it don't mean it's a good thing. It's the right thing. And quit wasting any more time on blaming somebody for doing you wrong. Some people are really good at tricking us, and they got they manipulation game on the 10. We understand that. But there were some pieces and moments in your life where life was telling you that something ain't right. Even when that person was tricking you, you just wasn't ready to deal with it. So you pushed that voice and that feeling aside. Don't waste another moment and minute on what you know to be true. Move on and quit looking back. All those young girls was doing was living in the past, wanting to talk about over and over again about what somebody did to them, they ex. And I get that. We got to get it out, but at some point, you got to accept this happened and I took part in it and I can't give it any more life. I got to accept what has happened, learn from it and move on. You can get stuck in that self-pity and that pain. You look up and years will be have went by. And it tickles me when I come across the arrogant ones and the ones that want to call you names and old and all those things. They don't even realize they are not too far away from where I stand. I actually saw a video about somebody saying, "Are are you really that old?" Because somebody that's 20 years old, if they only live to they 25, they a lot further along in life than those of us that got 20, 30, 40 years to go. Some people don't look at life in the right context. Y'all said, hell yeah, I was definitely comfortable being the victim. It started to feel normal and good. Listen, me too. I was so toxic because I didn't know what I didn't know when I was younger. I was very comfortable in pain. I was addicted to pain. I was addicted to a hurting heart. But at some point in your life, when your heart and your body and your mind stays in that state, fast forward 5, 10, 15 years, conditions start to peak. That's why you can't play with this thing called life. You can't play with relationships and people playing games with your mental and your physical state. Because when you stay in a state of depression and anxiety and addicted to pain and emotional abuse, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you're going to see the after effects of that state of living. People's health deteriorate. You're not as healthy as you should be. A lot of young people take it for granted in these bad relationships. And then they start having all these conditions and mental struggles and ailments at an age far younger than it should be. You you cannot afford to let somebody play with your life. I made a video earlier about quit putting your life in the wrong hands. Far too many people put their life in the hands of people that are not emotionally healthy enough or mature enough to manage their emotions properly. But let's be honest, you should never, and I do mean never, I don't care who it is, you can have the best person in the world. Don't never put your mental health in somebody else's hands. That's for you to manage, for you to nurture, and to maintain and keep healthy. And after you have established and you got this thing called a healthy lifestyle and a mental health down pat, then you share it with others. But you don't never hand it over to nobody. But some of y'all so smart, can't nobody tell you that. Listen, if you're new here, I welcome you to be a part of the community. It's a lifestyle, a decision of happy, healthy living. Let's get real and heal as a decision. If you haven't, please take a moment and hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. It costs you nothing, only a moment. While I'm talking, you won't miss a beat. I promise you. But I want you all to make sure. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to come on the platform, that's why I got that StreamYard up there. Platform and the stage is always open. It's an open community. It's just real people talking about real life things, trying to encourage somebody and telling the truth. A lot of people don't like the truth, and I speak about this on Facebook a lot because it's an older community. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth for real. They comfortable with keeping it behind closed doors or what goes on in this house, stay in this house. That's the problem. And that's why a lot of these younger generations are struggling because they don't express themselves that way. And they can't suppress all the things that has happened to them like many of us have in these older generations, which was not healthy. I think you have to find a constructive way to express yourself, but by all means necessary. Emotions have to exit somehow, and it can form into many different things. Find a way for it to be productive. It'll be a blessing to your life. I promise you that. You know what's always let me see. Oh, okay. Let me see. Maybe that's why it um didn't work for me the last time, y'all. Let me see if I can paste it in the chat. Last time somebody came on, no, I didn't have to do all that, but you never know. It's always something new. Let me see. See, that's the thing about it, y'all. I don't see where I can put anything in the chat. I can just read the chat. Post there, post a comment. There we go. Hey, I see when two or more come together, we can get it done. I just posted in there. Y'all appreciate that. Um, but anyway, thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. If anybody wants to come on the platform and share, encourage, whatever, other than act a fool, um, you're always welcome to do so. But yeah, this one girl, she she came forward and told her story about her relationship, and it was heart touching. And what I come to understand is a lot of people that are struggling and are have mental and physical issues, it stems from a bad relationship. A lot of people are suffering from being heartbroken, and they have never healed from it. And a lot of people run into another relationship too before they have addressed they past pains. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. And don't get so caught up in relationships to where you don't think about nothing else. Some people are so consumed about getting a man or being married that they can't even enjoy the here and now. And when you are amongst like minded people, misery loves company. And you just don't want to do that to yourself. Y'all said, yes, we hold stress and it manifests itself in our bodies. I know it do. It is. Listen, y'all, I used to be a person that felt I needed to be in a relationship, and I was good at it. I've had long relationships. My longest relationships was my daughter's father, and then my current ex. Spent 10 years apiece. So that's 20 years of my life. I'm 49. And then my son's father, I met him when I was 14, started dating him when I was 17. I have been alone since 2019. And you know what? This is the first time I've had this kind of peace in my life. It started out lonely, it was painful, but I had to learn how to love myself. Nick said, I've noticed too. I did that last time. This time, nope. I need some time to analyze and prove. Nick, please don't get in another relationship until you do some self healing assessment and understanding. Get to know Nick, get to love on Nick, and make sure Nick is able to provide all that Nick needs. So you don't go into the next relationship needing somebody to provide for you what only you can provide for yourself. I had to learn that. So many people think, oh, I make me happy. No, they don't. Soon as they get in a relationship, it's full blown about that other person. And then if the other person ain't giving you that attention or affection you need, then your day is ruined. You got to learn how to love yourself. Most people do not know how to love themselves. And that is the biggest problem within our personal relationships with ourselves and then with others. It starts out lonely. And I've said this many times before. Self love starts off ugly, but it turns pretty once you do the work. And it's a journey that you walk alone. Nobody else can teach you how to love yourself. That is a relationship with you and God. And if you don't believe in God, my heart goes out to you. This is a platform that is all believing. God has been in my life, has showed up in my life, and has saved my life. And I invite and encourage you, if you do not know him, to spend some time and try to find him. Eventually he will show up. Telling you what I know. People have to take time to themselves to heal from the pains that they have allowed others to oppose to oppose upon them, and also the pains that they have inflicted on themselves. It's a beautiful thing, I'm telling you. I get excited some days when I just think about my journey to get to where I am today, because I was a person that was full of so much pain, y'all. And I don't have that burden anymore. I don't have the burden of worrying, of feeling insecure or less than, feeling fearful because of a relationship, because of my need or my low self esteem. I love me. I love me authentically. I love me enough to come out and share my story so somebody else can learn how to love themselves. I ain't just out here just because. I'm out here because I was blessed to know something, to go through something and learn and be able to share it with somebody else, and to have the insight and the know all that a lot of people don't know what they're missing. And it's simple: self love. Learn how to love yourself. Get around a community of people that don't want to need nothing from you other than for you to be the best person you could be for yourself. See, a lot of people will drain you, a lot of people will use you. Just like I told the young lady that I was speaking to earlier, she was talking about her relationship with her friend, that they was considering working on it, and he keep coming back. And like I told her, I said, why wouldn't he? You keep letting him. Why would he keep coming back to you? You keep letting him. Being with you don't cost him nothing. He gained from you. But what is it costing you? I spent so many years pouring into these men. If I would have took that time and poured all that into me during a time where I needed to pour into me, how I'm gonna be pouring in you and I need to pour in myself? My YouTube channel will be at 1 million. Don't waste away. Seize this moment today, because you worth it. A lot of people don't think they worth it. I'm telling you, you worth it. Well, hi, Elena. Glad you're here. Straight facts. Thank you for this message. I'm healing. Amen. Listen, I don't think anything is by chance, just like that young lady I ran into and that gentleman that encouraged me the other day. He said it will be a shame for you to quit speaking out and speaking your message. Your people will find you. It's somebody that needs to hear what you have to say. And here we are today, because I was feeling discouraged. We all need encouragement. And when that young lady found me and said that I needed to hear this and I need to speak to you, that I believe you are the person that's missing in my life at this time in my life, because I'm a young lady that's still learning and growing, and my mother is no longer with me. I have no parents. It moved me, it encouraged me. I am here to help somebody. People need to understand that you matter. You matter. We have went along with putting on these facades and these fake smiles and faces acting like we okay, and in reality we dying. I was dying for many years until I made a decision that my life mattered and I wanted to live. I wanted to live enough that I had to start to train and to tell myself the truth that my life matters more than being with this fool. My life matters more than acting like I have to be in this bad relationship, convincing myself that I need somebody when I needed me. I needed me. I shared with those young girls the other day. I said, I understand y'all want somebody, and I pray you get somebody. I'm not saying that that person won't come. But in the meantime and in between time, take care of yourself. Many years I prayed to God to send me somebody. Wanted somebody to rescue me. I've said this many times on this platform. For years, I truly did. I prayed to God to send me somebody to rescue me. And one day, that voice appeared and said, all these years you have asked me to send somebody to rescue you. When all this time you haven't taken the time to notice everything you've asked me for and somebody else, I have placed it in you. You have been saving and rescuing you all this time, and you haven't even taken the time to notice it is within you. When that realization came over me that day, I cried. I cried out of remorse for not taking the time to be grateful to God for what He has done in my life and acknowledge and to see the things that He had given me. I'm so busy trying to find these things in other people when they were always within me. And that's what I need for you to see. I'm telling you what I know. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to go through the ugly path of learning how to love yourself so it can turn pretty. Your blessing is on the other side of that beginning path. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Self love starts out lonely and ugly because you have to start telling yourself a lot of truths. You have to walk down them lies that you've told to yourself and you've allowed other people to tell you, and start telling the truth. You have to start distancing yourself from bad relationships, letting go of things that no longer serve you well. I held on to some old friendships since I was a kid. I was holding on to them things as if they was my life jackets. And they was drowning me. And it's not that it has to. People have the false sense of something ending being ugly. Endings aren't ugly. They you embrace them as blessings. Everything don't have to be ugly. Some things are opportunities to learn and to let go and grow. People have to start looking at life in a more authentic, realistic way. Get rid of all this pretend and fairy tale and let's deal with today. Because life ain't playing with nobody. Or how you doing? Well, welcome in, my friend. I'm glad you made it up in here. I'm doing good. How you doing? Wisconsin in the house. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Elena, what you say? What to? But that's the missing piece, my friends. And I'm actually glad y'all here. This is confirmation. I don't believe anything is by chance or coincidence. Like I said, that young man blessed me when he said it would be a shame for me to quit speaking out um, and encouraging other people. And then people have come in, people that I'm familiar with. Um, it blesses me and new people up in here. It's a confirmation that I have something to say that's important and it will get to the right people. Yeah, make sure you do. I actually been I did some about just what's going on in the streets. Um I got some lives out there. You have to I'm always here. I gave some advice to a young lady the other day. I shared that earlier. I conversed with her. She no longer had her parents, and she said she came across me, and she needed my advice. So I took time and corresponded with her. So I also got my email, I think, on my about. You can email me, or you can leave a comment and inbox me on another platform. Whatever you want to do, I'm here. Because helping somebody else, when you get to the point, this is true, y'all. When you get to the point to where um you are of service to other people, your life is more fulfilled. See, it's a lot of greedy and selfish people out here in the world, and they have no idea. And hopefully, life will give them enough grace and mercy that they'll have the opportunity to learn what I know to be true today. When you are at a place where you can help somebody else, you are more blessed than they ever will be. Allow yourself the time to heal. Allow yourself the time to really get to know yourself and to get well. And then to love yourself. And then you too will be a blessing to somebody else. We You need to be on the side of giving. And how you give is you learn how to give to yourself first. Not your kids, not your mate, not your parents, but you. And I don't say that selfishly, I say that lovingly. Far too many times we don't do what we need to do for ourselves. We put other people in front of us, and then we become ill, or things start to happen to us. And in the end, the people that we love don't experience the best of us because we haven't taken care of ourselves. See, I'm at a space in my life now where people will benefit from knowing me in a healthy way because I'm not angry, I'm not hateful, I'm not addicted to pain. I'm not looking for anything other than to be of good service to somebody else. And I ain't playing with nobody. I show up authentically, and I demand and expect the same. And I have boundaries in my life. People will appreciate it, or people will not be a part of it. I want to help and encourage you to get there. And trust me, when you are there, you will be a blessing to the world. We need more blessings in this life because there's a lot of people that are lost. There's a lot of people that don't know how to express themselves. That's why we see all these young ladies that living in hell. They leaving no mystery for nobody to want anything because there's no boundaries. We might not can change the world, but what you can change is your experience in it. And that's what you want to do. You want to be able to authentically navigate how you live and experience and show up in this life. Don't put that in nobody else's hands, my friends. Don't do it. Y'all, what does that mean? Is that something new? Put the question or yeah, if you want to put it in up here, you actually too in the chat, you actually can come on the platform too if you want to. It's in the comments. Where's that banner? If you don't have to, I mean that's some people aren't comfortable but coming on, but again, the platform is open. And this is a non-judgmental, safe environment. This is real life. These real people up in here. Ain't nobody playing. That's the problem. So many people out here in these streets just playing, pretending. It's so much um truth coming out, being exposed from all these people that's pretending, and everybody looked at their lives or their relationship as goals, quote unquote, and their lives was crappy as hell. Wasn't nothing about them true. It's a sad thing. That's why Don't get caught up in this mess. Everybody going through something. Some people's experiences is greater than others. And some people, aren't comfortable with sharing with others. But at the end of the day, we all going through something. And that's a fact. Or if not here, um, I got the links to my other platforms where you can inbox me or you can email me, whatever you want to do. But I'll be looking out for you. But as far as let me get back to the topic for anybody that might have came in later. I want to make sure that if you're alone, if you don't have family or community this holiday season, that you be proactive in maybe going and volunteering, or being a part of some type of activity, because loneliness is a real thing. I spent when I wasn't in relationship, I was so hurt because I wasn't in relationship. This when I was younger. Uh, that I went through a lot of loneliness and depression because I didn't know anything differently. A lot of us that look like me know my experiences because we are a lot alike. Don't let loneliness control your mental health or your appreciation to live out throughout the day. Don't get caught up isolating yourself from other people and not getting out. Even if you just go for a walk and smell fresh air, don't let loneliness win. A lot of people aren't strong enough to make it through holiday seasons and they do some drastic things. It's a reality. Look it up for yourself. Don't be one of those people. See, I can be alone now. I'm over 8 hours away from everybody I know and love in my family. Nobody that I'm related to lives any closer than 8 hours, 8 hours away. If you're new in here, please take a minute to hit a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Don't cost you nothing, I promise you. Um, I went through loneliness, but I have also went through the process of healing it within my life and quit blaming people for what happened to me and putting systems and processes in place to where I can manage me in a healthy capacity to where I'm strong enough to be alone. Some people aren't strong enough. And if you're not strong enough, if you're not at the stage to where you're strong enough to be alone, I encourage you to make sure that you don't spend the holidays alone. Loneliness is an ugly thing. It can be very dangerous. And the beautiful thing is there's some type of activity in most communities that is in close enough proximity that you can be a part of something, you know, attend something, volunteer somewhere, go to, some activities, some holiday activities, and just be amongst people. But don't just sit there and let loneliness win because it will if you sit there and let it. And don't do that to yourself. And don't sit there if you end in a relationship or it's on the other, you freshly out of one, sit around and wondering what somebody else doing. That's self torture. I done been there too. See, you have to stay active when you are healing. If you one of these ones that's um on the other side, freshly out of a relationship. See, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and you will sit there for hours wondering and thinking why that person hasn't reached out to you or what they doing and driving yourself crazy. That is a terrible space and place to be in. The best thing somebody can do if you are in a weak state, and especially if the relationship ended outside of your control, it was ended for you, then you have to stay active. And the best thing you can do is number one, exercise and eat well, eat clean, and stay active. Don't stay up in that house because that's your hell. You have to force yourself to keep moving forward. But here's the good news. Here is the good news. You are worth it. You are every bit worth of pushing forward. You have to start. I'm going to tell you a trick too. This is real. A feeling comes from a thought. Just think about that for a second. A feeling comes from a thought. You have to think it before you can feel it. Control your thoughts. It will start off feeling very uncomfortable and fake, but start to tell yourself positive things and stopping bad thoughts. I've done it. I've done it throughout my life. When I was in dark and weak moments, I started to talk to myself in a positive, loving way, even though I felt none of these things. And I continued to do that until my thoughts and feelings started to transition into positive things. It's a lot of negative people. It's a lot of negative self talk that people are addicted to and are accustomed to doing to themselves. Challenge yourself to be aware of how you feel and how you think. And if it is not in a positive light, then start to practice and say to yourself the things and the thoughts how you would like to feel. I'm telling you, it sounds simple, but it's real and it's effective. And quit putting yourself in harm's way. At the end of the day, start to become part of a community of loving people, of like-minded people. And the reality is, yeah, we want to be amongst people, but this social media communities will continue to grow. Find communities that encourage you, that support you, that understand you, that are non-judgmental, like this community. If you're not a part of this community and if you don't want to become a part of this community, I encourage you to find one. Seriously. Because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be amongst people that can support you through your struggles. We all need support. You ain't gonna never hear me say that I don't need nobody. We all need somebody. You ain't gonna never hear me say that I don't want people in my life. I want people in my life, but I'm more mindful. I'm more careful about who I allow in my life because my life matters. See, I went through stages in my life where I thought my life mattered, but the way I was living and the people that was in it, I know now that it didn't matter because I didn't know no better. I didn't I didn't know what self-love was. I was a part of a lot of people that acted like they liked me and loved me, but they really didn't. It was something about me or something that they needed from me that made them want to be bothered with me. I don't engage that anymore. My circle is not as big as it used to be, but it's pure, it's authentic. You deserve that too. Quantity is not what is of value. You looking for quality. That's what will carry you through. Find quality in yourself, in your community, and in your relationships. Y'all said that was great advice to volunteer during the holidays because one of the best ways to get out of a rut is to do something for someone else. That's actually something I'm thinking about doing this year. I got to find somewhere to volunteer. I volunteered at a couple events at my job before, but I want to do something independent of that on my own. And it's also humbling. I think it's a renewal when you see somebody that is going through something that is far more challenging than what you're going through. It humbles you, and that's where gratitude and Humility starts to appear, and you realize, yeah, I do have challenges. That ain't invalidating what you're going through, but it also validates that somebody got it worse than you. It could be worse than what you're going through. It's a lot of beautiful people out here that are not enjoying their lives because somebody hurt their feelings and broke their heart, or somebody didn't show up in a way that they needed. If you're that person, I'm telling you, you'll be okay. Forgive yourself and that person and understand people can't give you what they don't got. And some people just aren't worth it. They aren't worth what you have to offer in your life or what you need. Not that they ain't good people or they ain't decent. They might just be good people and decent for somebody else. Quit trying to make people fit into your life when they don't. Yeah. I think that'd be a good advice. My niece and her family actually did that a couple of times. They used to didn't celebrate Christmas. They used to go volunteer every year, and then she had a son. And a couple years after they had their son, they made a decision that they wanted their son to experience Christmas sometime. So they now have Christmas. But for many years, they went and volunteered and gave gifts. They didn't celebrate Christmas. And I'm at that stage in my life where I don't put up a tree or anything. It's just me. Um, to whom much is given, much is expected. It's time for me to give. And I'm grateful that I'm in a position now to where now I can give. A lot of years I was sick and I needed somebody to give to me. Not material things, just encouragement, nourishment, love, support. Somebody else turned to need that. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God that I can give that. So a lot of times too, let me tell you, you can heal your heart by helping somebody else. You can heal your heart by sharing your heart with somebody that deserves and needs it. Quit giving your heart to people that don't know how to take care of it. And that ain't even got to be in a relationship. This goes for family and friendships. You have to be protective of yourself in every aspect of your life. It's time you start getting it right because you matter and you're worth it. It's time for you to start getting it right because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. So let's enjoy today. Make today matter because you matter. Many years of my life, I didn't matter to me. I matter to me. And if you don't matter to nobody else, you damn sure better matter to you. You too, Faith. Thank you for coming, my friend. Know that you matter. Know that you're loved. I used to be insecure about that love thing. Once I learned how to love me, it don't come across my mind anymore. It really don't. For years, I don't think about love because I love me. If you struggling with love and you don't feel love, that's because you don't love yourself. And I'm saying this, I don't have time to sugarcoat. I only have time to tell the truth. If you struggling with that love, I'm telling you, it's a love within yourself because once you learn how to love yourself, not that what other people do or the lack of their love won't hurt you, but not enough to move you because self-love protects you because you don't have those false expectations on people anymore. You understand what navigating this life properly looks like. So you don't put those expectations on people that you know they can never meet anyway. If you're struggling with love, it's time to learn how to love yourself. Tuesdays and Saturdays is what I commit to. I've been struggling, but I'm going to keep pushing. Let's Get Real and Heal is a movement, it's a journey, it's a decision. If you haven't joined me, I invite you to. You worth it. I'm worth it. We worth it. Hit that thumbs up. I'll be here again Tuesdays, Saturdays. If I miss them sometimes, I'm human, but I'll be back. You can believe that. Until then, take care of yourself. Enjoy your night. God bless and thank you for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thumbs up on the way out. Till the next time, God's blessings.